Hello everyone, welcome to Bookmas Day 9. It is crazy to me to think we've only got like 3 days left of Bookmas. That's insane. This has gone by really quickly and also really slowly, and I've really enjoyed doing this. So I hope you guys have also enjoyed Bookmas as well. I've really enjoyed doing this 12 days of Bookmas so far. So in today's video, we are doing a holiday themed book tag. So essentially I have some questions that I found from Google that are actually great, and a couple that like I've just kind of come up with. I'm going to give you a book or a character for each one of those questions. So without further ado, grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's get into the video. I have the questions on my iPad. So the first question is a fictional family you'd spend Christmas dinner with. Okay, that actually, I have one straight off the top of my head, and it would be, I know it's technically not a family, it's very much like a found family, but it would be like the entire crew from Whom the Bell Tolls. So I'm talking like Aphrodite, Hades, Belle, Lucifer, Gregory, obviously Lily, like all those people that are super involved, Sharky, like that's where I'd want to be. And I'd want to be in Carlton, the house Carlton. That's where I would want to have Christmas family dinner as well. So that is, yeah, For Whom the Bell Tolls by Jaysea Lynn. This is the book or the family or the group of people I would want to be with for Christmas, because I just think it would be such a funny time. Everyone would be having laughs and giggles. Everyone would be really loose and funny, and just, it would just be a great time. If you've read this book, you understand. It's just so funny. The humor that comes across in this book, the fierceness and the loyalty between the group is also unmatched. Like it's really, really amazing. And yeah, I also just the thought of like living in an afterlife like this sounds really freaking cool. So this is where I'd want to spend Christmas with if I had the choice. Okay, the next one is really interesting because I would probably have a couple of options for a couple of different things or a couple of different genres, that sort of thing. The question is a book you'd give as a gift. Now this is obviously really difficult because if you don't know what people like to read, it's hard to recommend something or hard to gift something. I have a couple in my mind. The first one would be, I'm gonna have to go over there and get it, aren't I? Okay, let's start with like just like a nice romance. I'm gonna do each of the genres that I read quite a lot. Actually, let's start with thrillers. The thriller, like paranormal thriller, that sort of thing that I would give as a gift, because I think that if people don't like dark romance and stuff like that, like I thought about Pen Pal, but that's got very heavy dark romance elements in it, and some people aren't into that. I am, some people aren't into that. So for like a true like thriller, paranormal thriller, that type of thing, I would go with Deadly Occupants by Mads Rafferty. I think that this book is absolutely fantastic. I rated it 5 stars. I think she did a fantastic job at writing this book. It's just absolutely amazing and I'm obsessed with it. I have literally not stopped talking about this, and I actually met Mads at a theater production of Oklahoma. I went because Belle from Belle's Library Books was performing in it, and I was like, I live really close to the Gold Coast, so I was like, I'm gonna go. Actually, I live on the Gold Coast, so I was like, I'm gonna go because that'd be really cool to see her live. And Mads was there, and so were a few of the other girls, and I actually got to talk to Mads and tell her how much I love this book, and she was really surprised, and she's like, wait, really? And I was like, yes, no, absolutely, I definitely think that this book is amazing, and she did such a good job at writing it. And I said to her, like, you know, the plot twist at the end, I did not see that coming, and then the ending in general, I was like, what? Like, girl, you need to give me more. And she was laughing. So I definitely think that this is really good, also from an author that is really beautiful, and I can say that because I've met her. I totally walked up to her and was like, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I have to tell you that this is an amazing book. And she's like, oh my god, no, that's okay. She was really, 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 really sweet. And I also got her, because I had to leave, I couldn't wait for the cast to come out and I had to leave, so I said to her, can you please tell Belle she was amazing? Like, I watched both of you on YouTube, and like, she was amazing. She did such a good job. And I know that she also did put that on because Belle said something in her stories the other day about, I heard people were there and none of you said hello. And I was like, that was me, I'm sorry, I had to go. So she's a really beautiful author, a really beautiful book, and just a really beautiful person in general. And I think that this is a really great book for people that like thrillers. I think this is really good for that. Now, talking about just like a romance, like a soft, sweet romance, whether it be sports or whatever, I would probably go with something like, I want to say the Windy City series by Liz Tomforde. Any book in that series I would recommend to someone who loves just a nice, sweet romance. I just think that that series is really nice, and they have good plot lines in them, even though the romance is the heavy plot, because obviously it's a romance, but they still have little like underlying plot lines for certain things as well. And I think that Liz Tomforde has done a really great job in that book. I'm not getting them out because they're all just here, but for romance, that's what I would give as a gift, is any one of those books. Now dark romance is where it's hard, because dark romance is my favorite genre. I love dark romance. Dark romance and fantasy are like top tier books for me, because I would want someone like a dip the toe in. If I was going to give it as a gift and I wasn't sure, this is the one that I'm thinking of, and it's one of the books from the Never After series by Emily McIntire. It would be Wretched. Wretched is my favorite in this series. I would love to do a reread of this series next year, the whole series. I did annotate Hex, and I really, really loved Hex, and I want to go through and annotate the rest of them. That's why I want to do a reread. I think that this series is just done really well. I think it's a great entry-level dark romance. It has like those dark romance elements, but it's not so dark that you can't cope with it, if that makes sense. And Wretched is my favorite. You have like, the girl is the bad boy and the boy is like the sweet little innocent one. And then I'm not getting it down because it's way too high up for me to get, but this should come as no surprise, and it's actually quite difficult to pick between the two, but I would either gift Quicksilver or Fourth Wing. I think Fourth Wing is super easy to understand. It has beautiful plot. It has beautiful romance. It's very much like an equal part intrigue of romance and plot. And I think Rebecca Yarros just does such a great job at delivering a story to you in such a succinct and understandable way that if you're new to fantasy, it's so easy to comprehend it, even though there is a fair amount of lore. She just delivers it in such a way that's very easy to understand. I think it's a great entry-level fantasy book. Even then, like, I read high-level fantasy and I still really love this book. I wouldn't gift a high-level fantasy book to someone because I wouldn't know what type. Yeah, they're probably the books that I would recommend in that scenario. The next question is a book you revisit each year, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to repeat a book, and it's the whole Fourth Wing series. For those of you that know, I used to read a lot as a kid, and I got bullied a lot in school, so I ended up stopping reading because I just wanted to fit in and do all that. Last year in February, I ended up picking up a book for the first time in years. I think I'd read The Beautiful Disaster, Walking Disaster, and A Beautiful Wedding. I think I'd read those 3 books when I was 19, and that's the only thing I'd read since I was like maybe 14 or 15, almost 2 years ago. So last February of 2024, I picked up Hooked and Twisted Love by Anna Huang and Hooked by Emily McIntire, and I got so hooked into reading again. I literally say that Hooked is the best name for the book because it hooked me into reading. So really, really loved that. But Fourth Wing was the first fantasy book I read after coming back into reading, and I have now read each of the books in the series. So there's 3 books out, and I've read each of them twice already. And Onyx Storm came out this year. I read it twice this year. So the whole Empyrean series is something that I absolutely love. I will probably do another reread next year. It's a series that I just never want to leave the world. I love the world so much. I find every time that I reread them that I pick something new out every time. I'm getting so many more clues and hints and all these things, and it's just, I feel like I find something new every time I read the book. They always make me cry. They're always 6-star reads, and I know that a lot of people didn't like Iron Flame and were a bit iffy on Onyx Storm, but I love them. They're my favorite, and they're the books that I revisit each year. I know that I only started reading again last year, but I read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame last year, and when Onyx Storm came out, I got straight into that, read that, and like I said, I read all of them this year again. So that would be the book or books that I revisit every year. Okay, the next question is a book with a beautiful cover. Now, I have a few in mind, but the one that I always think is beautiful, and the only reason why I don't have it facing out is, I don't even know why I don't have it facing out, but this is such a stunning cover. I do have the second one in the series on my TBR, but I love these covers. This is the Fair Folk trilogy by Lyra Selene. This is the first book in the series. It's called A Feather So Black, and this cover is just stunning to me, and even A Crown So Silver. Yeah, but I'll get it for you. Like, these covers are just so stunning, and they're so beautiful, and I just love them. And if I had the space on my shelves to display them like this, I would, but I don't. Also, I should mention, they're just the plain old paperbacks as well. Like, they're not special edition paperbacks or anything, they're just the plain old paperbacks. But then if I was to go into a special edition book that I love so much and display on my shelves, it's one that's right behind me. I'm gonna give out a fair like spoiler warning. If you don't want any type of spoiler into Reckless by Lauren Robbins, the second book in the Powerless trilogy, skip ahead a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, all of these are absolutely stunning, but this is my favorite. I love this artwork. I love this book as well. This one is just my favorite one to display. I think it is so beautiful, and when you read this book and you understand this scene, this is just so beautiful. I do have all of them. I've got Powerless, Powerful, Reckless, and Fearless. I will be getting Fearful as well. That's 3 books for you. Okay, the next one is a book you wish you could give to everyone. Now, that's really difficult. I do have a few in my head. For me, I think I recommended this to the lady at QBD Books the other day because she said she's a dark romance reader and a romance reader and she wants to get into fantasy, and I was like, girl, this is the book for you. Let me go get it. So the book is Court of the Vampire Queen by Katee Robert. I think that this is one of those books that, again, is great for if you're switching from romance and dark romance into fantasy. This is a great entry level because it has elements of both those genres in it. It's almost like a dark romantasy, and it's really great. It is a reverse harem MMMF Why Choose, and it's a true Why Choose. It's really, really good. And I think that this has like very equal part intrigue in the plot line and the like romance side of it. I always say that this has like 2 plot lines that run in it. You have like the first half that has one plot line, the second half that has another plot line. Even though that this is split into 3 parts, it's got like 2 major plot lines that runs across them. And the first part is sort of like a plot line specific around Mina and who she is and what she is, and then the second plot line is once she's discovered that and her goal of what she wants to do and a plan that they all come up with the 3 men and her. And I think that there's a really good balance of like really dark romance and romantic elements and the fantastical elements as well. So this is a book that I wish everyone could read regardless of their tastes. I think that there would be something in this book that everyone would like. A book with a great message, a book that carries a positive message or lesson. I'm only going to hold up volume 1, but the entire Heartstopper series. The things that are spoken about in this series is really beautiful, and I think so many people can take so much away from this series. I have recently read volumes 3 and 4. I only need to read 5, and I know 6 comes out next year, and I'm super excited for that as well. I think anyone can pick up something from these books. I think anyone can take a message away. I think anyone can learn something from these books. The topics that are spoken about in these are quite heavy and, you know, a little bit sad, but they're delivered in such a way that's really easy to digest, and young adult people can read them as well. And yeah, I think that this is really, really good, and I think that this is the book or the series that I would recommend that you can take away a good message from or learn something from it. Okay, so the next one is a book you were hoping to love but left you cold. So a book you had high hopes for that didn't meet the expectations. I have the perfect one for that, and I'm surprised I still have it on my shelf actually. It is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. I'd heard nothing but great things about this book, so I was super excited to read it, was super excited to get into it and, you know, see what all the hype was about. When I read it, I was enjoying the past timelines more than anything, but when we were in the present day, I was really struggling to get through it. I was like, oh my god, like this is just so frustrating. And then when we got to the plot twist as to why these people were dealing with the issues that they were dealing with, it went from being like barely fantasy to very high fantasy very quickly, and I was like, what's going on? So I really didn't like this book. I think I rated this a 1 star or a half a star. No, I think I rated The Coven by Harper Elwood's half a star. That's another one. But yeah, this one, I was expecting this to be a 5-star read, and I think I rated it a 1 star. So next one. So this is a book that was big but worth it, and I'm going to talk about the entire series because every book in this series is massive and I think they are totally worth it. It is the Boys of Tommen series. I'm not getting it out because just too difficult, but specifically Keeping 13. I was so intimidated by Binding 13, and Keeping 13 is bigger, and so I was intimidated by both of them, and I regret being so intimidated, am I okay? Intimidated by both of them because they are such beautiful stories, and like the entire series is really great as a whole. There is a couple of books in there that I think maybe missed a little bit of love on the editing floor, or maybe missed a lot of love in the writing time, or could have been shaved off a little bit, but as overall the stories and the series itself is really, really beautiful, and I really love the series. Keeping 13 is a god tier book for me. It is 6 stars. I absolutely love it. Binding 13 is a 5-star read, like right up there. So that is a book slash series that I was so intimidated to read it, and I literally think about them every day. Okay, the next one is a sweet and satisfying book. Go with Wildfire by Hannah Grace specifically. I remember reading this. I didn't annotate Icebreaker because I didn't think that it needed to be, but I annotated this so much. I started reading it and I was like, this is so funny, I need to annotate it. And I literally went back and reread the first like 15 pages so I could annotate the bits that I had missed because it was fantastic. I absolutely love this. It was definitely one of those books that was really sweet, and it did have a cozy feel because we're summer camp counselors. It was one of those books that you could like sit by a fire with a hot chocolate and read. Like, it really felt that way. It was very atmospheric in that way, and even though it was hot here when I read it, I still felt that way while I was reading it, if it makes sense. So yeah, that's the one that had a sweet and satisfying book. I have a book for this, but I'm still halfway through it and it's in the other end of the house, so I'm just going to put a picture up on the screen. But the question is a book with a great holiday themed setting. Now this is called Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. I'll pop it up on the screen. It is definitely very like holiday themed. For me, it's a little bit difficult with like themed books for Christmas because I live in Australia. It's hot, it's summer. I'm not able to like rug up with a blanket and a fire and some marshmallows or whatever it is and enjoy like a winter themed book. So it's really difficult for me to like find books that actually fit my Christmas setting, but that's fine. I am about halfway through that book and it's definitely very holiday themed. It fits really well for this time of year, especially if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, and I think it's really, really great. So definitely check that one out. I love this question. I instantly have 2 people. I have 3 people actually in my mind. I'm gonna give you all 3. So this is a character who would be a perfect Christmas elf. Now I have 3 in my mind. I have Carrie Swift from Quicksilver and Brimstone. I have Riddick from the Empyrean series, and I also have Gibbsy from Boys of Tommen. I think all 3 of them would make great Christmas elves. I think they are all funny. They're all really high energy. They're all very like ba 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 and talk your ear off and we'll just get shit done, while also just making like a silly haha good time. So they're the 3 people that I would pick to be Christmas elves. That was a really quick one. I had them so like they all just came to my head so quick for that. Okay, the next one is a book character that would make a great travel companion. Pick a fictional character you would want to take on a holiday. This is gonna make some of you be like, ew, but I have my reasons for it. It would be Alistair from Gravity. Yes, I'm well aware that he's like 50 and that's a really big age gap, but he's rich and he would make a really great holiday, and the way he just does everything for her and wants to provide for her is stunning, and I want that. Take me to Bora Bora, buy me everything I want, take me on your private jet and your private helicopter, I'll be there. That's who I would want to take on a holiday with me. Okay, we've got 2 more left. So a book that feels like a holiday movie. So it gives like a similar vibe to like a holiday film. Actually, this is gonna sound kind of random, but it's something that I could see being made into a movie, and it would be A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J Maas, the little novella, the winter Christmas novella. I honestly think like I could see that being a Christmas movie, just like the family drama that's going on, them getting drunk and doing Christmas decorations, the house just looking like Christmas just threw up everywhere, and Reeson coming in and being like, are you too good? Like, how much did you drink? Like, totally can see that. Like, so that would be the book that I would say is, it feels like a holiday movie. It kind of feels a little bit like Home Alone. Slightly different, but it kind of gives that vibe of like just really messy and really all over the place and like forgetful people and very drunk people at X, Y, and Z. So, and our last question, which is a book character that belongs on the naughty list. Okay, it's not in that way, get your heads out of the gutter. It's a fictional character you were disappointed in. Okay, I have 2, but this one's gonna have 4 people in it, and the other one's gonna have 2 people in it. Okay, so the first one is The Coven by Harper Elwoods. She really disappointed me. He also really disappointed me. The two MCs in this just really frustrated me the whole time. I don't understand what this book was, and I don't know why I still have it on my shelf. I literally just threw the book. Second book is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I'm really disappointed in her for choosing him after everything that he did, and I'm also really disappointed in him for doing what he did to her without getting the full rundown, without getting all the information. Really disappointed in this, really disappointed in the other one, and I think that all 6 of those characters need to be on the naughty list. That is it for today's video. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure you like and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. We only have a few more days left of Bookmas, so make sure you turn on that notification bell so that you see when I'm posting. If you don't already follow me on TikTok and Instagram, they'll be linked on the screen below, as well as in the description box below as well. And if you want any annotated books, head over to my Etsy shop. It's Commentary Corner. That'll be on the screen as well as in the description box below for you as well. And I will see you for Bookmas Day 10 tomorrow. Bye. Mwah.